Right.
Are we 8:30? Oh yes.
Wait, let's go live.
That's super cool.
Good evening, BMLers.
Evening, everybody.
Thank you for joining us on today's live. We're doing it from both channels today. We've got YouTube as well as Facebook Live. So this is going to be a first for us.
Do you want to tag?
Usual format, we're going to be giving some tips. We'll also ask you for questions. If you have any questions, just post them up and we'll address whatever concerns, issues you have with business, and we'll try and do what we can. It could be digital marketing, could be strategy, could be anything. So let's give that a go.
Abs is watching.
Abs is watching. He's sitting right next to me.
Do you know why? Because we can't. All of our eyesights are so bad.
Yeah,
I
I
know,
know.
it's so bad.
We've
So
actually
I've got
to,
my glasses on standby.
We've actually got to read the comments from another
Yeah.
mobile.
Otherwise, you see us going, what was that?
Right, guys, this Sunday.
Special.
You're looking forward to this Sunday?
Yeah,
I
Sunday, our BML Clarity live workshop, which we're going to introduce a new model. I'm going to be sharing loads of content. So people who have booked already, of which there are quite a lot of them, they're going to be learning loads. Make sure you bring a notepad. If you don't have a notepad, look, you know what? One thing I would totally recommend, and I'm a gadget man anyway, right? So this is called a Remarkable. Look at that. You see, and I make all my notes on here.
It's basically an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, it's like the old Etch-a-Sketch, right? Without the twiddly bits on either side. But honestly, I used to carry around quite a few notepads, and I hated it, especially when I'm traveling, because it just adds a lot of weight to my rucksack or my bag. And you know what? This thing is so tiny and thin and beautiful, and you can just organize all your notes and you just scribble. I don't do, what do you call it, text to, what's it called again? When you write and it converts to text, I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to draw, I want to doodle, I want to try and draw diagrams and write my own notes. And I do it in my own style, and this is absolutely brilliant. It's expensive, but it's, you know what, it's really, really good. So anybody who wants to save space and, you know, don't want to lug around kilos and kilos of weight in their rucksack, then get yourself a Remarkable or something equivalent. Hey Ali, thank you for joining. Sharifa, thanks very much. Any questions, please post them up. We'll love to address whatever concerns you've got. Any problems in business, whatever.
Remember, guys, you still can get your free ticket for Sunday if you haven't already. So just head over to our website or check out the events tab in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
This is our biggest event so far, so we're very, very excited.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It was nerve-wracking at the beginning, and people, you know, we learned a lot from Eric Ho, right? We went on a mastermind, and we learned a hell of a lot on Master the Stage, and we were kind of nervous at the beginning, thinking, oh my God, you know, we don't know how to set up events, we don't know how many people are going to attend and all the rest of it. But I think on our first one, we had what? 20 people or
40.
40 people. Yeah, 40 people attend our first event, and that was quite remarkable. And also, you know, you don't know how people are going to react. You really have that fear, right? Thinking you don't know whether whatever you're going to deliver is going to be taken on board in a good way or a bad way and stuff like that. So all these questions start, going through your mind. But you know what? Once you take action and you actually do it, you realize that actually, you know what, the information ain't that bad at all. You know, people do want to listen to you. People, you know, do want to kind of learn from you, and there is knowledge that you want to part with that everybody can take on board, kind of thing.
With our first one, we didn't. It was literally just. We kept postponing it, and I just thought one day I just said, I'm booking an event. I'm going to book the date, book the venue. And we're going to just do it. So I booked it, gave the boys the date, and we're like, okay, let's just do it. And we weren't really. It was kind of just teaching. It was just a case of, you know what, this is our first event. I just want to teach you what we know. And it was amazing because after that, we had so many people contact us say, how can we actually work with you? And at that time, we didn't have any intention of setting up like a. It was just kind of taking it. You know, like we always talk about getting a feel for your market and seeing what they want. That was literally the case without us knowing really. We just thought let's just do an event. So we had a lot of feedback and requests for how can we work with you, which then evolved into the Platinum Club and what we do now, you know, and the masterminds. And even the first mastermind, we went on a mastermind, we loved it. Should we do one?
Yeah.
So we thought, oh, okay, we'll do one. And then we did you know, for me, it's always been a case of, I want to go and do a mastermind abroad. So that was my thing, was like, let's do a mastermind abroad because I want to do it. And then we did one in Jersey, which was amazing. So now...
Yeah, I mean, you know, we got one booked in Dubai in, March?
4th of March.
Yeah, 4th of March. So, you know, it's enjoyable. You know, it's enjoyable doing these masterminds, but also you get to meet more people. You kind of, share a lot more of your tips and tricks as you travel. You know, you meet a lot of people as you go around, you know, different millionaires, different people who have made it in business.
I was going to see the comments.
Yep.
I can't see
Pam was actually there on our first event. Which is great.
Oh, yeah.
On the front row.
So, front row as well, I remember very clearly. So come on guys, any questions for us?
Sharif is saying she's doing lives to promote her next event.
Awesome.
Really helping.
Perfect.
Well done.
Well done. Keep doing them. Try to do them on a regular day of the week, or a regular time every day, because that's when your audience get to know you. They're saying that, okay, she always comes on at this time, I'm going to make sure I tune in. And also what Chan said last week, a really helpful tip is that you can pre-invite someone to a live, and there's a little countdown timer. So before the live starts, there's a countdown reminder for...
And also, where are you doing those lives as well? Because, you know, if you're doing it on your page, that's fine. But see whether you can do them somewhere else as well. Like, obviously, we've got BML Connect, so you're more than welcome to do lives on there or promote it on there. It's an open group as well, so you can encourage people to share that.
Yeah.
So, by all means, BML Connect is a great platform. And then try and find other places where you can do it as well. You know, this is for She Awards, yeah? Yeah, this is for She Awards. So I know that Dulcie was an ambassador for you last time. She did your awards. Actually, she was the one who was giving out the awards. So maybe she could help you with that. So work with people who you know are influencers. Now, it'll be great to do...
Elizabeth's watching as well. Hey Elizabeth, thanks for joining us.
Elizabeth, all the way from America.
Yeah, from America. So...
Elizabeth, how many candies did you have yesterday?
Okay, do you want to share tips?
Yeah, let's go in that direction.
Go on, Abs. You do your first one.
So my tip would be is if you are especially in a product-based business, market around holidays and seasons. So for example, at Social Awaken, we've actually helped one of our clients market their services during the Halloween period. We've already started a campaign for their Christmas period, and that helps them to be a bit more human, be more interactive with their customers, and it's a really nice feel because people are talking about Christmas or Halloween at this specific time period. You need to get your name or your business or your services, products in front of them, one way or another, and doing a marketing campaign around seasonal periods is a really good idea. So if you haven't already started planning your Christmas marketing campaign, you should really start getting onto that. That should be done ASAP, because you need to get a lot of your marketing promotional material ready, and then get it scheduled in. As I mentioned a couple of weeks back, use Sprout to schedule your social media posts in, so they're ready to go. Look at marketing around seasons. So that's my tip for you guys.
Good, thank you. What's yours then? Come on.
I thought going in that direction.
Blind them.
Okay, my tip is, I think all of you out there in our group have some kind of knowledge or experience in something, in some kind of transformation from A to B. So we've spent this week doing videoing our online course, which I think all of you guys can do. So whatever it is that you specialize in, or you have a lot of knowledge in, or something that people always ask you about, it's so easy to create an online course. And I've just, we've experienced it this week. It really is so simple. You don't need fancy equipment, don't need fancy gadgets. We've bought a state-of-the-art camera, we've bought lights and stuff. Yeah, okay, we use the lights because the office is, it's quite dark, and we've used the background. But you really don't need it. And I think it's so easy, because we actually recorded on the phone because it was just easier. Rather than stick the camera on, put the sound on it and everything, it was just easier just to go straight off the phone. And so they all recorded so easily. And then using software that's really easy to use, like Camtasia, it's so simple, even I can use it. Something like that to put some kind of logo on it, an intro on it, or something like that, and you've got a professional course. So it's so easy. I know that we're definitely going to be pushing our mentees who are pretty much towards. We've got a few that are pretty much ready to go now with online courses. So Pam signed up. When did Pam sign up? Was that in July? I think it was June.
Yeah.
Just before Jersey, so June, July. So she's finished her book. She has completed the draft of her. It's a program she's going to be teaching people, or under Make That Switch. Easily can be an online course. So we're inviting our mentees to come and use our space, our studio settings. But if you don't want to, if you want to just do it yourself, it's so easy. Stick the camera on a tripod and just, section out what it is that you know. Make it into, different steps. Like step 1, this is what you do. Step 2, this is what you do. And you've got an online course. It's so easy. And if you want to just do a practice one, practice it with your friends.
Yeah.
Get them to test it out for you. Give you some testimonials. Check where you can tweak it, make it better.
One thing I would say, I've seen some people put their phone down there, like kind of really down there, and they're looking down at the camera, right, which is a really bad thing to do. You need to invest in a tripod and put it there, right, eye level.
Yeah.
Eye level is very important, and make sure your lighting's correct as well. Otherwise, the person who's watching you is going to see you kind of, with your eyes down, and that looks really, really wrong. Right, so yeah. And the other thing is, look, the other thing is make sure you don't just get out of bed and do a live, because that looks weird as well. I've seen people doing that. That looks, like they've been dragged through a hedge, and it's really, it's not the best, most flattering lives
That's
on
not
the
very
planet.
nice of you to say that to me today, because
yeah,
I got rained on, hence the ponytail look today.
Yeah, so
This
just dude, most of the phones nowadays, right, especially the Samsungs, the quality is absolutely brilliant. So iPhones, the previous version of iPhones are crap, right? The video quality is really, really bad. So you can compare the video that we're doing right now on Facebook, right, to the YouTube one. The YouTube one at the moment is running on the iPhone, and this one is running on the Samsung, and you'll see the quality difference is amazingly, it's huge. Hey Sham, how's it going? But you know what? Just make sure that you do the basics with video. And if you're still stuck on video and how to do video and stuff, right? Go on, talk to Dan Evolve.
Oh, Dan's
He's our guru at video content marketing. He's absolutely brilliant, especially at photography, especially at video stuff. The people who attended his course, his workshop, really learned a lot of stuff, right? Not only about mindset, but also about how to position your camera, how to do lighting, how to do certain tips and tricks. And it was phenomenal. So next time we run that course, or next time Daniel runs it,
he's actually going to be doing webinars.
Oh, webinars, there you go. So wait for his next webinar and you'll
Brilliant.
see how good that
I think he's in India at the moment, but when he comes back, he's going to set some dates.
Exactly.
And I think it would be really good, because it was nice to see, because quite a few of our mentees attended, and these are the people that we're encouraging to get online, to do online courses, to do a lot more kind of, videos of themselves through their email sequencing. We've got one of our mentees coming into the office in a few weeks' time actually to record her intro videos. So it was nice for us to see him grow what they're doing within one session, because he kind of it was such a safe little environment that people kind of really expressed themselves. Towards the end of it, everyone was really excited,
Yeah.
and they were really kind of opening up.
Yeah.
And a lot more confident on the camera. So it wasn't just about technique on where to position the camera, which camera to use, which button to press. It was really your presence in front of the camera, wasn't it? That's exactly what he was teaching. And if you guys haven't seen any of Dan's work, you honestly need to follow him on social media, because his stuff, he captures so much emotion in his videos and pictures and everything. So
Sharifa saying she's loyal to Apple. Apple's latest phones obviously are very, very good, because they've got to kick up the arse and realise how good Samsung are, and then they obviously changed. So yeah.
Well, actually, today when we got
They're a bit
lost,
slow with everything
you went
now.
to my phone.
Hey?
When we got lost today, you picked my phone.
Yeah, did that get us where we wanted to go? No. 'Cause
And neither did yours.
so what's the point? Anyway, look, you know what? We went on about Jasper last time. You know, just the way she sort of sells and being, you know, she's really natural in everything that she does. And you know, the key thing is that she smiles a lot, right? You know, she smiles, she makes you welcome and all the rest of it. And you know what? Her selling technique is extremely natural. She doesn't force feed anything into you, right? And that's what you guys need to learn. You know, selling isn't an art where previously it used to be. You have to have the gift of the gab, right? And then you can actually sell, and you know, it's like the double glazing kind of salespeople, right? Used to knock on your door and you know, try and sell you something, or encyclopedias and stuff like that. I'm really showing my age now.
Oh my god, I remember
Bloody
that.
hell,
Oh my
God.
god. I actually really
You know, they
wanted
used to be.
one, you know.
Yeah, same here. I'm still going to buy one, I think, just for the sake of it.
God.
But you know what? Just smile. We walked through central London today, right? And I couldn't believe how many miserable idiots
so
there were there.
Miserable.
Right? I don't know whether they hate their jobs or whether they're just there, right? You know, or they're probably in. Yeah, it might be the weather, right? But you know, you look at their faces, it's like, I don't want to be there, kind of thing.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh God, you know, I just thought, surely there must be something good happening in your lives, right? God, smile for God's sake. You know what I mean? Make yourselves kind of give that positivity about you. So I think you know, what I'm trying to say is just be yourself, but be natural, be accommodating, be nice to people, right? And you'll actually, you know, you'll naturally sell anyway, right? People will just be attracted to you. The other thing, I mean, one of my tips really was, you know, trust your gut as well. Look, you know, in any situation, your gut will tell you a lot of things, right? Whether something's right, bad, or a bit iffy, right? We've got that instinct built into us. So if your gut says, as soon as you approach a customer or you're intending to work with a partner or whatever it is, and your gut's a bit kind of thinking, I'm not sure about this one, I think I would really walk away.
Talking about guts.
I'm not talking about guts in that respect, I'm talking about your intuition.
Yes, intuition.
Intuition, right?
It's not guts, it's
Yeah.
intuition.
Anyway, right, trust your intuition, because you know what, most of the time you're going to be right, so just do that.
I believe that a lot. I think
yeah.
I'm very intuitive.
I think you are. You've got a good judge of character anyway, that's for sure. And the other thing is, look, you know, I've seen some people, right, who voice it to the world that they're going to win something, and they, you know, they just don't know how to zip their gob. And I think it's really important, right, that you know, until you've got that contract in the bag and it's signed, right, don't go and talk to every single person about it, right, that you're going to be doing this and you're going to be doing that, because karma, you know, people put an evil eye on you, right, and then you'll find out that within seconds, right, something's gone wrong and you've just lost that contract. So try and learn to keep shtum about everything, right, especially your whatever customers you're dealing with or whatever contracts you're engaging with, right?
I think
because
people respect that privacy as well.
yeah, people respect that privacy as well, and it's really important that you don't go blaring it out. And the fact is, right, it's not a nice feeling, right, if you, for example, blurt it out and then all of a sudden you don't actually win something. So you know, it's quite embarrassing. So you know, just to learn to zip it. That's very important, in my opinion. And I think the other tip I wanted to give you today is obviously listen to your customers as well. Don't, you know, if you're building a product or you're building some software or whatever it is, it's quite easy to get carried away and keep adding features to it, right? Because you think right? You think, right, it's the thing to do, but it's not. It's, you really do need to make version 1 of the product, which is very, very simple, and then keep adding features as customers demand them or ask for them. Because and don't just think, okay, one customer's asked for it, right? Ask if several customers have asked for the same kind of feature, then implement that thing right into your product, right? Just because one says it. Normally, what happens is customers will ask for something and then they forget about it, right? It doesn't mean that you have to implement that thing, right? Just sort of step back and think, is this really valuable for other customers that are going to be using my product or service? So, do listen to your customers, have regular sessions with your customers as well, especially if you are dealing with large contracts like managed services or whatever it is. Have a monthly catch-up call with them, be in their face, because without being in their face, they're going to forget you. They'll go to your competition.
And
Always swimming around.
and also, when you are doing something like that and you do have regular catch-ups, there's always going to be extra things that you could recommend and suggest.
Yeah.
So that's more work.
Exactly.
That's more business for you. So I think that's a really good idea.
It's how we grew our business many years ago, right? When we were working in the cabling industry, and we made sure we were in the face of the customer all the time, every single week, right? Because opportunities arise. You want to be in their face. You want to capture those opportunities straight away. Otherwise, they go to someone else, and they'll say, okay, well, the next person who's in my face, right? I'll go and talk to them about it, right? So what's the point? So be all your top customers, right? Make sure you're in their face all the time. Right?
This is really important for Sharifa actually with the with Growth Banqueting, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So people that have used your event before, don't keep in contact with them, because however they got to booking the event, whether they went through a third party or a recommendation or whatever, it's so important to keep contact with them.
Yeah, just be in their face, because they're going to be recommending. They've got other events coming up all the time, so just be in their face for as much as you can. So
Sharifa said Evil Eye was just telling Imdad Basit today.
All right.
Aggie's watching.
Hi Aggie, how you doing? I think we've got a catch-up call coming up.
Tomorrow.
We've got it tomorrow. Yeah, looking forward to that one. Aggie's another action taker. So Anna's online from Rome. Hi Anna, how are you doing? So great to have you on board as well. So
Sonal Perry.
Sonal Perry was on as well.
Sonal's, we're going to see Sonal again on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing you, Sonal. Keep the jokes coming. So, any questions so far? Come on.
I wonder if Ellie has a question. Ellie Hibbert. Because I've had a couple of, we've corresponded before, Ellie. We've tried to help her out with doing something for the people that she helps in Leicester, but the dates have always been a little bit,
Okay.
you've not been here.
No.
So we'd love to help you out, Ellie. So let's, if you're still doing that kind of thing, I don't know whether that's something you're doing on a regular basis.
No questions?
No questions today.
Okay, I'll give you another tip, right? Something very close to my heart. Always take care of the people who get you to the place where you want to become, what you want to get to. So as you're going up, right, people are going to be helping you out. When you get to that top, right, make sure you help the people who have helped you out all along your journey. If you forget them, as I've seen some people do, you know what? You're going to leave you're going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths, and you're going to, your reputation will be spread around. So it's best not to do that. Just make sure you take care of the people around you. Don't be so bloody greedy, because
It's just a nice thing to do.
It's a nice thing to do. Incentivize people. Take care of them. Make sure you do look after everybody. Because you know what, at the end of the day, they're going to promote you, they're going to grow your business, they're going to help you even further lift your business up. So don't neglect them, right? That's very important. And I think also on the flip side of that is, if you have a bad employee, right, get rid of them as soon as you can, right? I know it's easy enough you should look at what the root cause is of that bad employee, but in my experience, I've always got rid of them as soon as I can. So
you're really mean. Oh my god.
yeah, but fuck them. If they're gonna spread bad things about your business, what's the point?
What's your little thing? Your
FIFO, fit in or fuck off.
That's it.
So yeah, but you know what? To be honest, right? Look, you know what? Bad employees are suckers of energy. They suck time. They suck everything, right? and you really want to get rid of them as soon as you can. So just get to the bottom of what it is that's causing them the problem, but then just have a chat to them and just just part ways as soon as you can. But really, look, you know what? Incentivize your people as much as you can, because that's really
sack
important.
me. I'm nice. I'll make tea for you.
Yeah.
So Aggie's asked, how do you deal with critics? And
That's a really
Sharif has
good
also
question.
said, how do you deal with people leaving poor reviews on your page, especially when you haven't had any dealings with them?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so I've got my 2 pence worth in.
Okay.
So we deal with a lot of review management, especially on social platforms, and people leave reviews on Facebook, Google, a lot of these places, and those reviews can be very damaging because, as you know, everyone goes online, looks at reviews, and if there's a negative review, that can potentially put a potential customer off your product or service. What I would do is, in the first case, is reach out to the person that's left a review, acknowledge what they've written, and try to take the matter offline as soon as possible, in the sense of picking up the phone to them or emailing them directly, get their contact details somehow. That's why you see a lot of big corporations on Twitter asking for, please could you DM us, direct message us, or could you message us your details and stuff like that. The reason why they're doing that is they want to take the customer, that conversation off the review page, because they know that customer at that point is very out, he's in a rage, and he's going to just go on a slating mission. So try to get that conversation offline as soon as possible, and see what the problem is. If the problem is on your end, you've got to be accountable, put your hands up and say, we're very sorry for the experience. What we'd like to do in return is invite you back in, or send you out a voucher or a freebie or stuff like that. But acknowledge every single review, positive or negative. Always give feedback on reviews. Don't leave them. Just because you've got a good review, it doesn't mean you don't reply to it. You do. You reply to every single review. It's also good for SEO, believe it or not.
Yep, Google will definitely rank you up.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sharifa, your point may have been that people who you don't even know leave a review of your service, and we've had that problem as well on Facebook. And unfortunately, Facebook does not take those reviews off. So it's a bit unfortunate, because what happened was we were hitting 5 stars, and then all of a sudden we had a whole bunch of people from Pakistan, of all places, who were banging bad reviews for no reason, and they've never ever dealt with us. So and we didn't even know who these people were, but yet they kept putting
fake profiles.
and there were fake profiles and all the rest of it. So what we had to do is block everyone in Pakistan, right? Because all of those people were coming from one direction. So that was a bit unfortunate, and there is no way of stopping people like that, right? You're going to get those type of situations arising, no matter what platform you're on. But like Ab said, it's very important to all the genuine people, right, all the genuine customers, if they feel hard done by, or they don't feel 100% satisfied, then intercept straight away and see what you can do about it, right? Either offer them Lexus used to be brilliant at this, by the way. When I used to buy cars from Lexus, they were top of the JD Power survey. And there was a reason for it, because the moment you walked into their showroom, the layout of the store, the way they served you, the way they approached you, right, the way they kind of took care of you, no matter what happened, even if you had a slight incident, wherever it might be, right, my God, they were on top of you like anything, right, just to deal with that, for make sure you're comfortable again and everything else. And now
Mercedes are the opposite. Well, no, the last experience we had was okay. That
yeah,
was all
Mercedes
right.
are frigging. Well, Mercedes is actually quite nice on that side of things, but all the top brands seem to forget what really good customer service is, right? They just want to flog cars, which is really unfortunate. But then Skoda, look at Skoda now. They went from, I don't know, number 50 or something, right number 1. They've even beat Lexus recently. So in the last few years, Skoda really ramped up their game, and no doubt it's an investment from Volkswagen anyway that's done it. But their service is incredible. not that I buy Skodas, but I'm just saying, it's just that they ranked up really, really quickly. But you know, I'll give you another example of this. Right, a customer I'm dealing with in America, which is a warranty company. You know, we've put in their process. As soon as an engineer turns up to their home, they fix the appliance. We've got a method, right, to take feedback internally before it gets launched online onto Facebook or any of these reputation sites. So try and find a way of intercepting feedback before it gets online anyway altogether. So as part of your process, Sharifa, maybe before they go back home, you sort of sit them down and say, look, and is everything okay? Was anything, not to your satisfaction? And really deal with it there and then on the spot.
I think on a customer's perspective as well, I look at reviews a lot, obviously, when I buy things. And if I see something I really like,
Buy things a lot.
I do buy things a lot. I'm not hiding the fact. And that's why you had to wash dishes at Mira's Cafe the other day, because I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was the bag. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on from that.
Okay.
I buy a lot of stuff, and if there's something I really like, I'll look at the good reviews. I'll look at the overall review first of all, then I'll look at the good reviews, and then I'll look at the bad reviews as well. And a lot of the times, I find that the bad reviews, if they're talking about one specific area, like for example, I bought leggings recently for the gym, and you know, my pet peeve is when they roll down when you're doing like squats or lunges or stuff like that. And so many people had said they roll down. But what had happened is the seller had said, go buy one size smaller. And all the ones that said they roll down, the seller had come back and replied and suggested one size smaller, because they said, yes, these are coming up slightly bigger than your usual size. So I went ahead and bought it anyway, one size smaller, and they're perfect. So, you know, if you do get bad reviews and you've intercepted and answered the question, then...
He's got a double sale.
Yeah. So I bought two pairs.
Good. Yeah, see?
One red, one black.
Yeah.
So the ones that give 1 star without explanation, you do know, if you got a genuine concern that these are fake reviews, you can report them. Whatever platform you're looking at, TripAdvisor, Google reviews, whatever, you can report them if you believe them to be fake. And you know, but again, I would say obviously reach out to them and see if you can take that matter offline, because they could always go back and edit the review.
Yeah, that's it.
So Ellie's saying, I set up businesses every day. I have recommended a few clients to this group to support my work.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
That's really kind of you. Thank you.
you guys have great tips. My clients need a lot of support, especially if they are bringing a new product to market. We definitely need to go and see Ellie at one point, because I had agreed to do something, like a quick, little seminar, but we need, when you're back from this next trip, maybe we can...
Yeah. So I'm leaving on Monday. We've got the event on Sunday. We will be covering a lot to do with product and how you get it out there. And
Ellie's coming on that, actually.
Fantastic. So you'll be learning loads and loads and loads of stuff. So a lot to squeeze in for 4 hours. But if you're a VIP, you get an extra hour with us, personal questions and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you know what? Just if you haven't booked it, book it now. It's free, and it's a Heathrow Holiday Inn Heathrow. Sorry. So just see, just come along. It'll be really great.
So Ellie said, just a reminder, we are a provider to DWP clients who are unemployed and want to transform their lives. They have a great business ideas. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely, those.
All right, Ellie, you know what? Let's get in touch and let's try and book a date when you're doing this next workshop, and we'll definitely be there.
Love to help people get back on their feet, especially if they're...
Sharifa, yes, you do need to book in advance. Sorry to cut you off. Parking is free. So for the guys that are coming, actually, I'm going to send you an email out anyway. You do need to pre-book, because we've got there's a lot of people on the list. And
Sharifa works for DWP as well.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh. So we need names, because obviously we're going to have a checking-in process.
Yeah.
Parking is free, but as you come into the hotel, there's the room's going to be through the main lobby towards the back of the hotel, but in the lobby there are screens where you can put your license plate in. So make sure you do that if anybody's coming on, also for the guys that come in at driving, because if you don't put your if you don't register the vehicle, then you're going to get hit with a big parking fine. So just make sure you register it. We'll remind you on the day as well.
Nasira's just come on. I can't remember, I don't know what that says. Have you on the background in the car? What's that mean?
Huh?
Oh, I see. She's got us playing in the background of the car. Hey,
Oh, okay.
Drive
Nasira,
carefully.
sorry, I missed that last bit. Drive carefully, please. Yeah, no accidents. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody there. So there's some names that have appeared which sound familiar, but I've got to look into their profiles. But
I
yeah,
couldn't find who they are.
no. Okay. So any more questions, guys? Come on, fire them at us.
Oh, hold on. Aggie said.
Mhm.
Aggie had asked a question. She
How do
said,
you do with critics?
How do you do with critics?
I think Abs has just mentioned that because, critics can. I mean, there's a couple of ways you can look at this, right? Because critics might be critical if they don't understand something or you haven't explained something. So, you can just elaborate on or turn it around into a positive. Always look at whatever they're saying and try and think of the positive spin on it rather than thinking negative. I think most people go in with an attack, right? And that's the worst thing you can do because that fuels even more anger. And what you really want to try and do is diffuse it by just being polite for a start, addressing their concern in a positive way. Rather than being negative at all cost, because that will really go against you. So I think that's the only thing I can really advise on.
And you know what? There's somebody who I've recently been following on YouTube. He does lives every Monday on YouTube, and the topics he covers are pretty. They're pretty powerful topics. I think people they have their own opinions, and people that have opinions are very strong opinions. So he's very. He doesn't say my way is the right way. He just is very, very open with the Q&A sessions, and some of the negative feedback he gets. I mean, I think the last time I watched his we had over 1,000 people watching. So not everyone's gonna love him, and he said on one of his things, I'm like, Marmite, you love me or you hate me, and it's true. I love his content, but there are people that are literally on the live throwing negative comments at him, and he just kept composed and just ignored them. He literally ignored them, but his personality is just so, he's such a happy person, so happy, bubbly, he's always laughing.
Yeah, that's it.
And he doesn't he does not let it faze him. And some of these people that are creating, sending these hate messages, you can see you can see quite clearly they're fake profiles. They just don't even have the balls to kind of be themselves and send all these messages. You just think people like that are not worth thinking about.
No, that's it.
The other times I've seen about critics is they're very ill-informed about your product or service. So they might not know exactly the ins and outs of your product or your service. So it might be worth, it might actually be a good thing, because these critics could be posting questions or saying statements which could potentially help you generate content off the back of their comments and their questions. So I think you've got to judge each case separately.
And you can make them work for you as well, because I remember Richard telling us once, Richard McMahon, who's he's one of our partners for book writing, book publishing, and he said he had written a book on how to pass some test, and one of the answers was wrong on the book, right? And he got slated, and all of a sudden his views went up massively on this one particular video, and he was like, well, how come that's gone up so much? It's because somebody had commented something negative, and then somebody else had commented something, and he just let them carry on. And by the time he finished, his conversation was massive, and the views were just through the roof. And he was like, well, carry on. All I've got to do is correct that and republish.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Sharif is saying, do we have a creche? Unfortunately, we don't have a creche.
no.
I've looked into this because I know that a lot of our our mentees and clients are female with children, but unfortunately with the hotel, there's too many legalities that we have to kind of look into, and it's a pain really. And the fact that they don't, you know, even if somebody's qualified as you know, a child entertainer or something, we still have to cover too much. It's just too much of a pain, and they won't give us a separate area. But actually, your children, they're not babies. I don't know whether, I can't remember how old your children are. Might not be a bad idea to bring them. You can help me. What's Panos is
we'll
coming?
keep them entertained. Panos is coming as well.
He's got a comment. Key point, mainly in live events, but not only, is to stay in contact with the client or their main representative all throughout the interaction, or as much as often as possible. This will generate much better reviews and will minimize the possibility of complaints.
Very true, very true. Keeping customer contact is very vital. That's what Chan does brilliantly for us.
What's that?
Keep in touch with our mentees.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Chan's always in
6,
there.
10 and 14, I think. Yeah.
I love doing that though. I'm a people person. I like talking to people. Actually, that's, you know, there was somebody who I love dealing with complaints. I really
She does. She's amazing at them actually.
Do you know why? Because I know legally where I stand, right? So if I know I'm in the right, I refuse to give up. I'm like a pit bull, really, innit?
Trust me, every time I get a parking ticket or I get any complaint, not complaints, or I've got a complaint about something, pass it to Chan, and that's it. She's on it like a pit bull,
Like a pit
big
bull.
time. Yeah. She
But it's because I
shreds
know
them
my
apart.
rights. I know, like, consumer law is just something I'm so passionate about. I think big organisations take the piss because they think little old Nads is going to say nothing because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And the first complaint he did, now I did all yours, and then the first one I think he didn't want to bother me, right? So he wrote it himself, and I was just like, I can't even correct this. I need to delete the whole thing. He said, I'm going to get my legal secretary onto that. And I was like,
You're right.
dude, let's scrap that. But there's an art to it, right? There is an art to complaining. So if you guys ever have an issue that you want to learn how to deal with on a professional basis and win, I can help you. I should write a course on that. I should write a course on that.
Yes, well, I've been saying it for a long time.
I might just do that when you give me a day off. The point I was making, yeah, we had an issue with something last year, do you remember? And we had been to an event and it was a load of crap. So badly organised. And the event organiser responded so badly, and it was just like, are you seriously joking? You've not addressed any of my points, and you could tell that the responses were standard templates. So I kept going back, and then I only stopped because he made me, because it was taking too much time. But if you look at this guy online, the bad reviews, even if you Google his name, you get scam, blah blah blah, scam everywhere, and you think, oh my god, the guy probably genuinely does know what he's doing, you know, but it's just the way he's handled himself with negative reviews has created this whole, you know, his name is associated with scam, you know, it's terrible.
Sharifa has 3 have missold a contract to Sharifa. Panos, for a real pro, any criticism or complaint is an opportunity to turn the person into a very loyal client. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've already mentioned that. Yeah, I got a message back. Okay, any more questions, ladies and gentlemen?
That was a fun live.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to carry on preparing for Sunday. So, if you do have any more questions, just post them in the comments, and we'll respond as we can.
And check out our live on YouTube.
Yeah, check out the live on
Check
YouTube.
the quality
We will
differences.
anyway, definitely.
So 2 different
Yeah,
phones.
exactly.
Oh,
The Facebook
Jordan
one
is-
is Samsung, and the YouTube one is an iPhone.
Yeah, that's it. All right, guys, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. And if anyone who's attending on Sunday, we'll see you there. Take care, guys. See you
Take
later.
care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.